Hello, this tutorial is to show you how to make a superhero mask, the little mask that goes on your eyes, to go along with your superhero costume. So this is a pretty easy tutorial. You just need a few simple things. You need some craft foam of any color. I just have a piece that's long enough to fit on my face, so that's black, so I chose black. Preferably you need a color that you can actually see when you trace, but you know, any color works. So you need a hole punch and some string. You want to make sure you have some elastic string, probably a little bit bigger than this. And then you want to have something that you can decorate with. So with a dark mask like this, I'm just going to use some star stickers. You can use some glitter glue. You can use some gemstones. You can use other kind of stickers. If you have a lighter color of foam, you can use markers. But remember, washable markers don't work very well on craft foam, so you would have to use permanent markers, which means you have to make sure that you're being very careful with your permanent markers. So you want to draw a shape that's kind of like a mask, and it almost looks like an 8, kind of like the shape of an 8 or a peanut. So it's kind of hard to see my drawing there, but you just kind of want to go out like this, in and back out again. It's almost like this, like the shape that you make when you're doing an 8. In fact, you can actually probably draw an 8 and just cut out the sides like that. So what I'm going to do is, so I have this big chunk here, I'm actually going to fold mine in half and then cut it, because it would be a little bit easier. Now this might be a little bit difficult for little ones to do because it is craft foam, so you want to make sure that you have some helpers helping cutting out the foam. Foam is a little bit more difficult for little ones, but it is still fun to work with. Okay, so here is my mask that's going to go on my face. So this is kind of where my nose is going to go. So right here, I got to cut some holes out to where my eyes are going to be. So what I'm going to do is fold it back again, and right in the middle, that's where I want to put my eye holes. Now again, this is something that you want to have a grown-up do. You don't want kids to do this because you're cutting through craft foam, and again, it's a little bit more difficult. And you can cut through just one layer if you want, or you can cut through both. It is a little bit more difficult to cut through both, but it is not impossible. Just make sure you watch out for your fingers. And then you can open it and see how well you did. Trim off a little excess there if you messed up. So there is a basic shape of a mask for your eyes, to go with your superhero costume. So you want to then put some holes here. This is where your string's going to go. If you've got a really good hole punch, you can go ahead and use your hole punch. Just be really careful. Otherwise, you might be able to use a pair of scissors or an X-Acto knife to make a little hole, but you should be able to use a hole punch just fine. Don't want to go too close to the edge because you don't want it to rip out. So now you can decorate this however you want. So remember I said I'm just going to use some stickers because I have a darker mask. But if you have a lighter mask, you can use permanent markers or paint. That may not work very well. Stickers always work the best, but it's really up to you how you want to decorate it. You can do glitter glue, always works really well, and stickers, of course. So once you've done doing that, then you can tie your string to either end and put it over your eyes, and this becomes part of your superhero costume. So I've got, you want to make sure you put one end in here, tie it nice and tight. You only want to do, just tie one end just to start with, to be sure where how you measure it. So you're going to tie one end, and then you're going to put this on your face, put this on your eyes, and then wrap the string around your head, and then you'll know where to tie it, and then you can cut off the excess, because if you just tie it without measuring your head, it might be too big. So you want to give yourself a little bit of room that you can stretch this over your head, and if you break it, that's okay. Just get another thing of string and start over. But you want to make sure you have some stretchy string so that it can fit over your head. So there you have it. There, it's a superhero mask just for your superhero costume.